Item is pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item is reviewing and approving the minutes from the January 26th meeting. That's been a long time ago. Wow. Hey, have you guys had a chance to read the minutes? Okay, good. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, I entertain a motion on that.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from January 26, 2021 as presented.
Okay, a motion made by Virginia Perry. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. That drops us into new business, and it looks like we're going to, once again, approve the salary resolution.
But this is an amendment to the 2021 salary resolution to reflect that we've had 3 promotions and 2 new hires.
Okay.
We've had 2 employees that left, so we've had some officers' positions that came open, and we would like to congratulate Captain Pope, who is now captain, also Lieutenant Mariner, who was promoted to lieutenant, and Lieutenant Hamilton, who was promoted to lieutenant, and we have 2 new employees, firefighter EMT Hellman and firefighter EMT Moeller. So we'd like to congratulate them to the Brown Township team, and congratulations to the officers on their promotions.
Any of you guys back there who he's talking about?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome. You all look like you're in trouble. You're sitting in the back corner there.
We can't wait to get out.
Okay, the next item is approving a cost sharing agreement.
Wait, Steve, you guys need to approve the amendment, please.
I'll make
Oh,
a
you wanna-
motion that
okay.
we accept the amended 2021 salary resolution as outlined by the trustee.
Okay, you have a second?
A second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll keep these in order and sign them a little bit
Yeah,
later.
we'll do it at the end.
Okay, we have, some of you probably heard that we're talking to the fire department about a possible fire territory. And this particular item on the agenda is to approve an agreement with the town of Mooresville to investigate and uncover and look at the different possibilities of doing this, and to also approve the cost to actually get it started. As I understand it, we have 2 components to the cost. One is a law firm cost, and the other is a consultant cost. And the idea is that the consultants will start first. Excuse me. They'll start first, and then later the engineering and the law firms will follow if it makes sense to move forward and do this project at all. I think it might be good, Mark, if you talk a little bit about it as well.
Yeah, as you know, Steve, I think you've been on the advisory board for a while now. This kind of goes back. We've wanted to start these discussions for a long time now about getting these 2 departments merged between Brown Township and the town of Mooresville. I think since then, I think Virginia's the newest board member that we've had since the last discussion that we've had prior to Dallas and Chris leaving the board. So, and Andy, I believe, may have been on the tail end of one of those meetings, but this is still relatively new for her also. So we are wanting to explore that with the town of Mooresville. It is something that's been tried before several times in the past, and for whatever reason, whatever political climate may have been at the time, it did not go through. However, I think it's time that we at least look at this, get this study done and look at it. Maybe something we decide, no, we don't want to do, it's too cost prohibitive to do at this particular point in time again, or whatever it may be. I mean, but I do think we need to look at this now and have the study done. Go in and split the cost with the town of Mooresville to get this study done, to see exactly what we're looking at, see what the tax rates, the tax levies are gonna be, what's gonna change, what isn't gonna change, and, we need to have a serious discussions about this. At some point in time, we just may have to open it up to public opinion too, and have, the public invited to give their say on this at some point in time.
I agree. How about, do we have any questions on the board? I've got a little bit of an advantage. I've been working on this thing, but, on the side, trying to work with the two teams, but I think it kind of stands to reason that it would make sense. It looks good on paper to do it. The question is, does it look good, and is it good for the taxpayer in Brown Township? So, you didn't talk about the cost, right?
I'm sorry?
Did you talk about the cost?
I did not talk about the cost.
All right, let me talk about
Yeah,
this real quick.
it's in the agreement. We have two Mooresville County Council members that are present with us tonight as well, that's also been heavily involved in this project so far. And, we do have the cost sharing agreement that the town did sign. So it is the ball is now in our court. It looks like all of the town board members signed off on this to go ahead and proceed with their end as far as the study, to share the cost with us. So I guess now the ball is in our court to see what we do with it.
Okay. What we've got is approximately, what do we have here? Half would be $2,800. The attorneys, it looks like it's gonna be approximately $4,800. And so we'll split that cost. The bulk of the project and the bulk of the time is going to be with the consultant side, you know, looking at the various options and what the ultimate effect's gonna be on the township and the city. Flat rate of $25,000, so we'll be splitting that as well. So, okay. I assume since the town has already signed this, it probably makes sense for us to have a vote on it. Move forward. Okay. Does anyone have any questions, or do you guys have any comments from the town board?
I would just say that it's the $25,000 to Baker Tilly. It's not to exceed that. It may not get to that price, maybe less than that, but it's not to exceed $25,000.
Okay, that was kind of the question that you and I were going back and forth on, so.
That's my understanding.
Okay.
I don't have the document in front of me though, but that's what I read in the document
Okay.
and what they verbally told us.
So you feel pretty good about moving forward with it?
At least looking at it, yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Jeff, you have any comments or?
I have none, no.
Okay. Any questions on the board? No? Okay, I'll entertain a motion. One or the other.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make a motion for us to, go ahead with the cost sharing agreement at the town of Warsaw.
I'll second that motion. I remember when Al wanted to try this and it didn't work out either, so, I'll second the motion to try this again.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, great. Okay, the number item C on the new business is adopting a travel policy. And my understanding is we've actually already approved in 2017 the policy. We're just updating the per diems.
That is correct. The 2017 was the last time that any of that was changed, like 36 cents per mile and $30 a day for per diem. And in 2021, that has gone up to 39 cents per mile and $55 a day per diem. So that's the only change as far as the policy goes, is the dollar amounts.
And you're following the policies of the state?
Yes, this is the state of Indiana. I believe you have it, it's the
Mhm.
travel rate chart summary on the state form. So it's in guidelines of the state of Indiana.
I noticed that the, some of these rates will change depending on the destination of your trip. So did you just use a general, amount?
Yeah, we follow the state guidelines as far as what the state,
Yeah, each county is different.
yeah, each county is different, so.
Okay. So basically, you'll be following this?
Yes,
Okay, great.
for what our county is.
Okay.
I did have one question on page 2 under D, other travel reimbursement. I just wondered, if these various methods of transportation would include an Uber. It's not listed, do you think it would be covered,
You know, that,
or should that be included?
I think we could change that, because I don't think in 2017, I don't know if we even thought
No,
about
I think
Uber.
that's- I think that's right.
But that's a good catch, I mean, that adds an option,
Yeah, okay.
so yeah, we can change that if
Yeah.
you like.
And I did take the time to go over this to make sure, that it was exactly the same except for the 2 changes and make now 3 changes. But I would like, more advance notice. We just got this yesterday to look at and review, so I would like more advance
Okay.
notice in the future on a
I
document.
will make sure that you get further advance notice.
Other than that, unless, the board members have some kind of questions or comments, I'll make a motion that we approve the travel policy for 2021 as amended, including the word Uber on page 2.
Do we wanna say Uber, or do we wanna just say in general, a service like that?
A ride share service.
Right.
Ride share?
Yeah, ride sharing service,
Well, they could use-
because there's several of them out there, yeah.
It's not actually Uber, yeah, you would be limiting yourself just to Uber if you did that.
Yeah,
Cause you have Lyft and everything else.
It's good
Ride
catch.
Ride share.
Ride share.
Ride share. Okay.
Alright, sounds good.
okay.
You made a motion.
You made the motion? I'll second the motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item is, some updates on the Monaco Cemetery.
Yeah, I just want to advise the board that, Monaco Cemetery, which sits down at the south end of the township, just before you get into Clay Township, that is the only cemetery that I have that I'm responsible for maintaining by Indiana state statute. The cemetery is getting in, the headstones in there are getting in really poor condition. We got headstones in there from the early 1700s, 1600s. I mean, they're old. We even got some in there that don't even have any writing on them. They're just an actual headstone. It's just a marker stone. I've been in contact with stonehunters.com, which is an organization out of Nashville, Indiana that restores cemeteries. I spoke with Helen Wildermuth, who come up and visited with me out at the Monaco Cemetery, and we discussed what we could do as far as cleaning those headstones up, resetting the ones that are broken, the ones that are starting to decay, and what we can do to preserve the cemetery. She told me that for the smaller headstones, they're about $350 to restore, to remove, repair, as far as epoxying anything that needs to be epoxied back together, and then reset into the ground. So they're not leaning, they're not broken over, so we'll have, everything will be reset and cleaned and look good. For about $15,000, I can get 35 of those headstones done. So she has slated this for this project for August of next year. So I just wanted to update the board on that I will be spending some money at our cemetery to get it cleaned up. It's not cleaned up, I mean, the headstones need to be cleaned. We are maintaining it rather well as far as the appearance of it. I am gonna have to put a new fence up for one around it and cut some trees down that Helen had recommended that we remove. I'll be getting with Carla Monaco on that. Me and her's gonna go down, and I'll get her input since she's the surviving family member of the cemetery, and just get an input on her on what she would like to see done as far as furthering the care of the cemetery. So we'll do that, and starting next year in August, we will proceed with getting the headstones cleaned up and reset.
Sounds nice.
Mm-hmm. You gonna bring the Boy Scouts in again?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I mean,
Well, they, tell them what they did, I guess, before.
well, we did have some volunteers that went down and, they did some trace history as far as the,
Yeah.
servicemen, that served in previous wars of the United States, and they did mapping at every location in Morgan County and marked all of our veterans in our cemeteries.
That's so cool.
So there is a, little, display box down there that shows where all the veterans are buried at in our cemetery and, their names and where they served at, so it's
It
pretty
was
cool.
actually an Eagle Scout project, so it was very, very nice family, they were very nice.
And they, one of the Eagle Scouts purchased and reseal coated the parking lot.
Hmm.
So,
Wow,
yeah,
cool.
so it was really nice. It was really nice to be involved with that, and it was really
Mm.
nice to see an Eagle Scout program come up and do that.
Hmm.
Like, I know Helen, and she worked on the cemetery in Madison Township, did an excellent job
Yes.
with the stones, and she keeps an inventory for you
Yes.
to purchase already, and has done at White Lake Cemetery as well. She does a
She's
great
awesome,
job.
isn't she?
Yeah,
She's
I like
awesome.
Helen.
And I went through, I even contacted the DNR to get a list of all the, people that does those types of restorations. And she was probably the number one that had the most recommendations as far as using.
I think she's certified by the state actually.
Yes, she is.
To do that work.
She is.
One of the few people that is.
Hmm.
So she's pretty sharp, and you can go on stonehuggers.com on the internet, check it out, and she has pictures of the work that she's done. Currently, I think she's in Iowa right now. She is booked up a complete year,
Oh, wow.
so going from state to state, out of state, in state. So she's quite experienced and knowledgeable on the cemeteries, and she's been very helpful for me as far as when I contacted her. It was like a breath of fresh air. Because I didn't really know, I thought, oh my gosh, how am I gonna get this done? But she put my mind at ease as far as getting it taken care of, so we'll start this project next year.
Very good. Sounds good. I almost wish we could have another ceremony or something to honor the veterans in that cemetery at some point. I don't know how you do it, but I'm not sure how many people realize it's even there.
I'm not for certain either, Steve, but I can look into it for something.
Yeah. Hmm. Okay, well, I guess we don't really need to vote on that, right? I mean,
No, that's just purely information that I gave you that the project that I got coming up, that I was looking for.
Okay, that leads us then to the budget hearing, which is really, this is a public hearing on the budget. And so if one of you would like to give us a quick update on
Well,
this.
we got our budgets done, and we are, the net assessed value for next year come out to 4.3% increase. Our 2021 budget, which is the budget we're operating on, it was $2,937,000, or $2,937,859. We have increased that by $88,179. That reflects a 3% increase. We didn't do a 4.3% because that was everything that we needed to be funded for 2022. So we actually are below the net assessed value as far as our increases this year.
On the emergency ambulance, I guess it's 1101. My understanding with that is that,
Are you in the EMS fund?
and I'm in this one here.
That's the fire fund.
Yeah, the reason that's so high is it kind of swaps off with another category.
What fund are you in, Steve?
Notice the taxpayers.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Is on the fire fund.
I'm on the wrong one.
So, your overall budget's not really gone up much, but
No, it hasn't.
that category has.
That's correct.
But you're not talking about a whole lot of dollars there, but does it also go back and forth between the
So,
couple funds?
I can explain, so,
Okay.
The increases are in the salaries line item. As you guys probably know, everybody is short on employees, and we are not liking that area as well. Everybody's short paramedics, so the ones that we do have, God love them, are working their tails off to keep us in business. So that also makes increased amounts that we need to pay these individuals. So in order to be able to keep them, which is hard as well, that's what we have to do. So they have gracefully, between last year and this year, have literally busted hump, and that's the nicest way I could word that. That includes our EMS chief, Mark Singer, who also puts in enough of his own time as well, on top of doing everything else. So, so that's where a good chunk, that's where it, pretty much that's where it's all went, aside from medical insurance, it's all that, and overtime, I mean, that's where it all went for the majority of it. The rest of it really didn't change too much. Training increased, but other than that, that's pretty much where everything increased at, so.
Okay.
As far as our township assistance line items, we did not increase that. As you know, last year with COVID, our numbers were way down. This year, I'm not gonna say we've increased a whole lot. We've increased a little bit slow. August is probably our busiest month this year so far. We're way under budget yet for where we could be, and what I would call an average year. So we're still under yet. I'm not complaining, but it's just still.
I was gonna ask you
We have
about
some odd COVID stuff still flowing through yet, so I don't know. We're not sure what's going on, but whatever, it's fine. Hey, if people are working paying bills, I'm cool with that. So, but anyway, that's where we're at. We're above where we have been in the past years, so we didn't feel like that was necessary. So, and the other funds pretty much stayed the same. Obviously, our 2 loan payments, one for the ambulance refurb and then also for the engine, those stayed the same, obviously. So, and the rest, like I said, it's really just the 3 funds that increased a little bit. We increased the care cemeteries a little bit, just as we discussed. So that's pretty much where the increases came in. So.
Okay, great, thanks.
Yeah, and just to let you know also, even though this reflects some salary increases, that will be presented at the next board meeting when we present the salary resolution for 2022.
Mhm.
That doesn't necessarily mean what's on here is what you will adopt as far as the salaries.
So you're saying this could change?
Absolutely could change.
Because I'm not seeing any increases for the trustee, the part-time clerical, the deputy trustee, which I don't care about the advisory board.
Well, it does, it's.
The only increase I see is for the clerical. Is that?
Well, up here in my salary up there, Virginia, in 1AA where it says trustee and current.
Right.
I'm not taking any increase in raise.
I didn't think you were.
No, in fact, in the 12, 13, I've only had one slight increase.
Mm-hmm.
And I was pretty strong armed by one of the previous boards to do that.
I think my main concern is the clerical position increase. That shows an increase, right?
The part-time clerical has an increase.
Are you saying the 1AB clerical is not increased?
Well, it's going from $26,250 to $26,000 in 2022, so that is not an increase. And if you also look at welfare administration, it is the same decrease as well.
Okay, but that, Mark, you're saying that could change
It
at
could,
the adoption?
Yes, we
That
could
could
present
change.
something for the adoption hearing for a salary resolution. But that's not tonight, it's not on the agenda,
Yeah,
so.
well, this is a public hearing.
Sure.
I know I questioned it last year, even though it had already been approved when I came on the board, and I know that there was a sizable increase for the clerical. And I just
And
want.
why is that an issue?
Well, because it was to write grants and
No, it wasn't just
That's
to
what I was
write
told.
grants, that was a part of it, but it wasn't solely just to write grants, no man, you're wrong.
okay, what else was it for?
It
She
was-
also took over the, making the payroll. They
Yeah, I know
built the
about the
payroll
payroll.
department, and
Yeah.
that saved the department quite a bit of money. And also all the other duties that come along with that. And,
I think there was another.
yeah, and then there was the other for
Some extra work in the medical group,
yeah,
I think
She
for the
does.
insurance.
She does all of our medical trust.
I do all the billing for the medical trust.
Yes,
So I need to ask, I know she went to training, Vicky, I don't want, like to talk to you in the third person, so Vicky went to training for grant writing.
Yeah.
Have you had any successful grant writing this year for the township?
I have not been able to. The grants I'm certified to write are through Okra, and the grant that was to build a new fire station, they took away when COVID started. I have all the emails and everything that they have sent out for those public notices, and we don't know what they're gonna do in 22 yet, we don't know. Right now, all those extra monies were funneled into COVID grants that they did, and that was all per state and HUD regulation. I had nothing to do with anything, anybody had any control.
Yeah, well, I checked with Okra too, and they verified that they had expended the type of grant that you were certified to do for 2021. I did verify that.
I do, it's also on their public site, it's not anything.
Yeah, it's
that's
on the
hidden.
public side. Yeah, I looked it up. Okay, that was the only thing I had about the.
So it was out of my control.
Yeah. But once those become available, then she will apply for those.
I hope.
Yeah, anything is better than nothing. So maybe we can get those grants back out and open up to the taxing units, and maybe we can have a good year. We'll see how it goes.
okay, so do we need a motion on that?
No, you just need to take public comment.
It's a public hearing.
Some public comments, any comments out there in the public? No, how about you guys in trouble back there, do you want to comment? Okay, I don't think there's anything else out on the agenda. So any other general questions or comments? Sorry for my voice today, by the way.
You did?
Yeah, that's another story.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming, all of you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
A lot shorter.
So let's start, take your file.
I was the sidewalk.